Okay. So did you guys get a chance to look over the other groups' submissions for last week?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you guys have any opinions? Any favorites?
My favorite was Blue Tarp this week.
That was
I like the Blue Tarp project as well.
Yep.
I looked through like their interview notes as well, and it seemed like they had actually interviewed some pretty great people that had, are really applicable to their business. So I thought that was pretty cool. They got some good insights there, and they just did a good job on their presentation. It seemed pretty thorough, and I kind of like their project. I like their idea and everything. So.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I picked out 3, and that was in the top 3, so that works for me. What do you think, Ralph?
I like the Blue Tarp. It was good.
Okay, cool. That's easy.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was way easy. So we can just let Casey know because I think he's supposed to submit it.
Yes, he is.
Okay, let me just make a note. And then give me just a sec. Let me get this week pulled up. Is there anything you guys want to volunteer for?
I thought Casey volunteered for all of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That
Just kidding.
Let's see.
I'm gonna have to walk away for a second, guys.
Not a problem.
Sorry, my kids.
So it looks like if you look at it, we've got numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7. Is 3, 1, 2? Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if we all take one.
I'll take 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I can work on 3. That's kind of interesting.
Okay. Let's see. I think 5 is good with me. Okay, give me a sec. Let me just make a note so I can send it in an email. So 3 was Ryan, right?
Yeah.
4, Ralph, you like that one?
Yes.
Okay, 5 is me. And then did Casey say there was one in particular he wanted, or he said he just took whatever's left over, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll just ask Ashley if you would prefer 5 or 6. Either partnership or cube resources, it looks like. I think this is going to be
key resources.
What was that?
I'll do the key resources.
Okay. Is that number 7?
Oh, it was number
No.
6.
6.
6.
Okay. Number 6. Okay. All right, so we'll give Casey number 7. Hey, could you tell who won the votes for last week? I was just curious how we did.
I couldn't. I don't know.
All I've got is
Usually
a
he has
T.
everything graded by now.
All I've got is a T for the grade, a great big T, but that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't understand if that meant we won or if we voted correctly or, yeah, wasn't really sure. But I think we did good. All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about or is that pretty much it?
Just a couple things. Next week, I'm the lead.
Okay.
I have youth conference on Friday and Saturday that I'm involved in. So I will have time on Saturday, but it will be limited, so the earlier the better for next week, just to give everyone a heads up.
Okay. Earlier the better for me. This week is good as well. I'd like to have it all done Friday if possible. But if not, I can make it work. But,
Okay.
I'm
What
trying to think. I think
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Um,
just, oh, go ahead.
interviewing people? Oh, I just wasn't sure what we were supposed to be interviewing people about. Like what sort of questions should we be asking?
oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Let me see.
Last week was about the MVP. It says try to
Is it
find
that the-
people who represent potential partners. Yeah, it doesn't actually say like anything specific that we need to interview them about. Am I missing something?
No, I think
No, you know,
So maybe just about whatever section that
Yeah,
you're
that's what-
working on.
yeah, maybe the section that you're. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're working on partners, interview
Okay.
them about partners or something like that.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, I'll put
Um,
that know as well.
Maybe if you guys don't mind, just brainstorming for a couple minutes just about get, keep, and grow strategies. Did you guys have any ideas for our business? Because it's not a normal business, I
Right.
suppose.
Right.
I was gonna ask the same thing on the distribution, so on the
Well,
channel.
maybe we can brainstorm together a little bit on each section, and we can go away and
Yeah,
go into more detail. Obviously, it depends on which customer segment on the get. I mean, for individuals, I think social media is probably a pretty good resource, probably more effective these days than like cold calling on the phone. People don't seem to respond that quite as well. That used to be kind of the go-to for charities and nonprofits, is to call people, but
Yeah.
it's not very well received. But
I think for people that have donated, it might be good to have like an email list, and then we can
Mm.
send out updates and say, hey, look what your money's doing. Look at this community and what
Yeah.
good it's done. And then you can say, hey, we want to help this other community as well if you want to donate. But that way they can see and feel good again about what they've done. Because most of the time when you donate, you don't see the outcome.
yeah, where did my money go? You know,
Right. Exactly.
that'd be really cool. I really like that.
it
What
would
about
be,
for like the bigger corporations and stuff?
the philanthropists, it would be the same thing, but it would be, here are the communities that we helped.
Mm.
And maybe even putting on, if it's a well, that we name the well after them.
Mm.
Oh, that's a good idea. For
That's a
great
good
corporations
idea.
and stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they might be able to sponsor an entire project or be like the key sponsor. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And that
Yeah.
could be appealing to them. I like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
I like that. Good idea.
Thanks for those suggestions, guys. That was helpful.
Yeah. For governments, if they have like a ratio of how many people are dying and getting sick, or even like how many people are in the hospitals, and then after the well's installed, show the change that's happened in that area, like the statistics, how it's affected those. That might be kind of cool for governments to see the impact it's having on their people.
Yeah, maybe they can get some good press for a change instead of bad press.
Right.
For government, it also will be based on ratio, because we may go into an area that we put one well in, but to get them started, but it may need to be 2 wells or 3 wells.
Mm.
It's true.
What about getting those bigger clients? Any thoughts? I mean, is it just through personal selling? Really, I guess word of mouth is effective. That's more like the viral loop. But I mean, what do you think is the best way to get a corporate sponsor? Do we call them? Do we, have someone actually go and visit them? Or
My
Don't they? I think they have.
My research for the empathy map.
What was that?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought like great big corporations, I thought they had people that are actually, they select groups that they want to sponsor and donate to, and so we could pitch to them or send. I can't remember what they're called. I know at my job they have selection process. Like they kind of weed them out and decide who they want to pitch for the year.
Right. So more the personal sales maybe isn't the right word, but like a personal pitch. You're not going to reach those clients probably through social media blasting,
Yeah.
email blast. But yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking as well.
But most of them have a network already set up for this type of stuff. So it's a matter of tapping into that network on them. If they're already doing it, it's a matter of tapping into it.
True.
So my research kind of for my empathy map kind of pointed me in the direction of these people donate based on who they know. Mm-hmm. So they'll have application processes and, these applications will be submitted and they may or may not look through them, but the majority of the people donated based on connections. Yeah. So it was who they knew and they were influenced by their friends and peers more than they were like a selection committee. So
yeah, so obviously just sending an email is probably not going to cut it.
No.
Yeah.
Do we need like celebrity endorsements?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Obviously if you can get a recognizable figure, whether it's a movie star or a politician, they're both celebrities in a way, but them endorsing your project could definitely open a lot of doors, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'll do some more thinking and research on that, but appreciate you guys' insights.
Yeah. And then, Ralph, you wanted to talk about the distribution channel?
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions? I know a couple of you did some work in a previous class on distributions of the same type of thing in India that may be advantageous to tap into.
Well, it's going to take a lot more logistics, just because it is going to be overseas. And so it's going to be volunteer teams and, we'd have to work with those local governments to get the right permits or things like that. So it really just depends on where we want to be. Did we decide on India?
That's kind of where I thought. That's where I put it last week in the key market. But we can move it. But India is the largest population without water within 30 minutes of them.
Yeah. And then I'm just thinking, do we get it there all the way assembled? Or do we send parts there and assemble it once it's there?
The question at that point is,
well, we would have to.
Go ahead, Ashley.
I said we just have to dig it. So, I think it would help to stimulate the local economy if we used their resources, if we bought, their resources. But again, that might not be cost efficient. Yeah. I don't know.
I'll do some research into it and see what we can do and whatnot.
Okay. I was talking to somebody this week about one of the guys that, the guy that I interviewed. His parents work for the humanitarian side of the church, and he was talking about how they found if we just provide things to the people, then in 2 or 3 years it's kind of not taken care of and it's beat up and it's just not very valued. He said the church likes to have the community pitch in in whatever way they can, whether that means part of installation or building or funding even a little bit, even if they just do a little bit. If they scrape a little bit together, then they see it as more valuable and they take better care of it. I don't know that we can build that into our plan, but I thought that was interesting. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important. I've heard the same thing, from LDS, humanitarian missionaries, that, there are some communities in Africa, for example, that they have like pumps for wells and stuff, but when they break, nobody fixes them. Like, no one really takes the initiative to figure out the problem. They just wait for someone to come and fix it for them, which is really sad. So I think educating the community, and that's like an essential step.
Mm-hmm.
That personal involvement, that personal ownership is going to be has to be required, or otherwise it will never like we're talking about, won't maintain. That's the fundamental of the welfare system of the church, is they have to be involved to get them to become self-reliant. This is just a step of getting them self-reliant. That's all this is.
Yeah.
And so I like the idea of being able to maintain. If you be able to maintain, you have to know how it's put together. So it'd be advantageous to ship the parts with someone there to show how to build it and help them install it. That way they have the knowledge of how this came apart, how this was put together and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
Agree. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and if we could get the part from somebody in India, so it's even more connected to their, that'd be kind of cool too. Kind of that might get their, I don't know, get those corporations involved. That'd be neat if they could get, sponsoring corporations from their own country.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Then everything's local. We're not having to ship parts in 5 years, 10 years. Everything's local. They can take care of it.
Right. Yep, I like that.
So I will work on that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm just looking. Is there anybody in particular you guys want me to focus on with partnership? Was there a company?
Well, we had talked about the government.
The government?
That's a big one, because we got to have the permits. No matter what we do, we got to have permits from on our side and on their side.
Yeah. That makes sense. Are there any?
And I don't know if there are humanitarian organizations over in India that have existing volunteer base that we could use.
Yeah, that's a
which might be helpful.
Great. Looks like we lost Ryan.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay. Those are good ideas. Do we need to brainstorm anything else?
You okay, Ashley, with what your assignment?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
I think we're good. Unless Ryan, now that you're back, is there anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, sorry, I dropped off for a second. No, I'm good.
Okay.
You can always email if you have any questions.
Okay. We'll plan on 8 o'clock next Tuesday. I'll send out a link probably on Saturday.
8 o'clock.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
So good.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.